Good morning, good afternoon, good evening.
The bomb baby.
This is the Boomba on your Boom Radio NG. We bid you a warm welcome. This very, very interesting Wednesday afternoon from Lagos in the city of Nigeria.
On the border of Ogun.
It's the city of Nigeria. The dramatic city of Nigeria. As there's going to be a very there's going to be interesting issues we're going to be talking about today. The very first thing on everybody's lips that everybody's talking about is President Muhammadu Buhari's would I say declaration this afternoon. Everybody's expecting it. In fact, the bomba
declaration
is order. Okay, what is yeah, there is order this afternoon. It's something that we had talked about over time, even on the bar, about what the president had been waiting for or not waiting for, or what some people just want to do and they don't want to do. Anyway, the president has spoken about that. The Senate, I think we had left yesterday when we were talking about the Senate and the Electoral Act as well. They have as a conversation about that. That there's also an update on that with the House of Representatives. Also, still on the Electoral Act, there is another amendment again that especially this one is about the section 84 subsection 12 of the Electoral Act. It's a very interesting judgment from the appeal court, which I felt that it's very straightforward, but I don't know, I'm not a lawyer, but I think I'll read a bit of it and you understand what I mean by very interesting. Also in the courts have announced the accelerated hearing in suit against PDP presidential primaries. There is a conversation about that. Somebody somewhere, or some other person has also sued the PDP about the 40 million naira sum that they are paying for their presidential nomination forms, talking about how exorbitant it is. And I'm like, okay, is it because you are in the PDP? What should we in the ABC do? But anyway, that and a few other things that we're definitely going to talk about if we have time. If time permits us, we're going to talk about Genevieve gist that came out yesterday and her supposed response to it, and this and that. And
so to be clear, the gist is that there's a blogger on social media who carries a lot of gist about people, and they claim that Genevieve is psychotic, that she's in rehab in America because of drug usage. That's what this blog has said, and people are saying pray for Genevieve and do all of that. So we want to talk about it because she has responded. And in her response, trust me, she didn't say a single word. We posted the video on our social media, but we'll talk about it and how blogs will go about putting out stories without verifying or reaching out to the parties involved.
What did she say?
All she did, okay, since you're there, all she did was post a video where she was out in the courtyard of a place where she's staying in America, most likely, and she didn't say anything. She just smiled slightly to the side and she just continued painting.
What was she painting?
She was painting different images. You need to check. You need to check the social media.
Tell people who are listening. Some of them are not close to the internet now.
Yeah, well,
you have to compete. You get salaries every month for this.
Yes,
this is a reflection of
so those people, please go check out our social media. We need the traffic.
What I'm saying is that you need to describe it because some are actually driving and listening to you.
No, I get what you're saying and you're very clear. But I'm saying now,
wasting their time. That's what I'm saying.
Wasting that. Where we are now is that they should
Stop acting like that, Shola. This is a new year.
They should go to our social media and check out.
They are still going to go. What I'm saying is that tell
lovely painting from Genevieve. It's calming. It's soothing. Like you look at her, you're like, oh, is this the person that's supposed to be psychotic?
Now
do you understand?
Yeah.
But we're not supposed to go into the story yet. This was a teaser before your man went this far.
But sometimes teasers can actually become the real story.
Okay, can we go back to our original plan? Thank you very much.
Because you are serving, that's why you are now trying to
serving what?
Please retrieve that.
You won't let us drink water and then leave the cup.
Okay.
You the wrong kitty kitty.
I think that the president supersedes everybody else here. The president's matter supersedes everybody else. So I think we should start from the
I think
president.
you should.
Alright.
And I think this particular news, one person that would say that this particular news lifted his spirits from Nigeria's anger in a few days.
It's
Tokubo. Oh my God. And this afternoon, for people that do not know for people that know what I'm talking about, after the Federal Executive Council meeting today, President Muhammadu Buhari has directed all appointed members of the Federal Executive Council running for elective offices to submit their resignation letters on or before Monday, 16th of May. So,
Only federal.
yeah,
He can only adjudge at the federal level. That's where his power is.
That's where.
So if anybody at the state level or wherever.
that's the business. I think that's the business of
Contest, and
The states have already made announcements
before. Yeah,
Most of the state governors have already said it, that if you want to contest, you need to resign. They've given them deadlines. I know Ogun State, Ondo, and a couple of other
Where
states
are
have
you
actually
from?
made that statement.
Yeah,
I'm Nigerian.
I mean your state of origin.
Nigeria.
So for people that let me
Did
also
you say Jambato?
break
no,
it
no,
down.
I failed.
So basically,
I failed the
the
jam.
the
It's not
main
about failure.
No, this thing
please
is paying
please
you.
can we go
It's
on?
paying you.
So
This
the
is
main
personal.
oh God.
Okay, sorry.
So the main membership of the Federal Executive Council, there are a few other people that are added like periphery, but the main members of the Federal Executive Council is the president, who's the chairman, the vice president, who is the vice chairman, the secretary to the federal government, and all federal ministers and ministers of state. Those are the primary members of the Federal Executive Council.
So the vice president should first resign before.
No, you're not listening. They said, according to what they said, or according also to Nigerian Constitution, all appointed members of the Federal Executive Council. The vice president is elected, which is why those things do not also apply to governors. Then a president cannot seek a second term because he's elected. He wants to resign for him to seek a
I
political.
think we should hand over this to Shola to adjudicate.
No, I'm not adjudicating anything. Actually, I'm not adjudicating anything.
Why?
Tokumbo
He looks like
That's-
a lawyer today. That's why.
that's champion at the bit.
Yeah, I think. Wait. I think he wants to talk. Yeah.
And particularly, I'm delighted.
Okay.
I am delighted. I saw, very good. The days where you used to play this local football.
I don't know how the ball will take it away if he's angry.
Thank you very much. You know that the selection is just that because your is my friend, you know, with me.
Mm-hmm.
Jolupo is Shola's friend. Jolupo will go to that camp, and now, and we didn't have a referee, so to say. Everybody had a free running game initially. I didn't think that was wise. I thought somehow along the line they would have listened to either the party constitutions or the constitution. What does it say about you holding and still seeking appointment or seeking election to be the president of Nigeria?
Like the Attorney General that wants to be the governor of Kebbi State.
Thank you.
And it's still the AG.
It's still the AG.
Like the Central Bank of
The
Nigeria
is
governor.
still there. Thank you, Yomi.
So yeah,
Now,
there's maybe before we continue.
We now wake up one day.
Mhm.
We now wake up one day, and everybody is talking about it. Even boom radio, or boom bar, to cut it short, had in the past few weeks been actually shouting out, "President, what is happening? Oga, sack them. No, this thing will get out of hand." And this afternoon, we just got it flew into this situation, and I felt so happy. Now, what he's saying is, before or by Monday, when you resign, and then you can now go and collect your 100 million naira form or 40 million naira form, depending on which party you are flying with, okay? And then you will let us understand what the rules are. And I said earlier also that means that people who are resigning,
Oh yeah.
if it's going to be for 1 year,
Oh yeah.
some lives will be made, some intentions will be signed,
Yeah.
and then life will continue. But the fact you cannot hold on to what you think is yours and make it your father's attribute. No, it doesn't work like that. Leave this one, take a walk, go out, go and play the role, fight for it. If you win, you stay.
Good
If
luck.
you don't, bye-bye.
It's a game.
For me, that's the reason why I felt good with what the president had done. And it also says something, because people have been wondering that everybody is keeping quiet. Is this the way to go? You know? And I don't think it really was the way to go. And people outside there, they are really talking now. Now, think about it. Mr. Appointed man, minister, whatever. Take a walk and leave the show out. Go and do other things.
Well, I think, again, typical of human nature, it's not just about Nigerians. Either with constitutionality or not, we all need to realize that human nature, greed comes with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're not just disgraceful, the greed in them that is so inherent.
It's greed. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
I do not think any reasonable person should be doing that. Once you are appointed and there's a law, set an example. But these people were talking about professional politicians. This is their job. This is their profession. This is their life. So they want to put in everything, even if it means scuttling the future of a country, the future of a society. They don't even see it that way. That's the disgraceful thing about it. So, but, well, if you have to say Buhari is leading the way by calling the shots and, you know, like the shepherd calling the sheep, you don't go there, don't eat grasshopper, eat lice, don't eat lice, eat this. It makes a lot of sense. So, and if you take it back, like I had an argument with someone who was saying that he wished the military is back. And I said, if you ever witness a military regime, or let me say, if you ever lived near a military barrack, you don't have to witness a military regime. If you ever lived near a military barrack, you would never want a military government. If we had been doing this like about 30, 40 years ago, believe me, we would have taken some steps beyond this. Maybe, well, of course, we'll still be arguing because now it seems that there's a global leadership failure, and then people are, there's a lot of mental health issues around the world. Yeah, I mean, abnormal behaviors all over the place. It's not just Nigeria. The only problem we have is that we are denying it. And then, you know, everybody's living like under a curse and saying, Moson Lorio, Moson Lorio. You're already saying that you're sick and you're behaving sick. So now, the position that we are in now is so tiring, it's so exhausting. But the truth is that if we had been doing this years back, we would have been able to deal with such a humongous situation like the 1999 Constitution that has really brought this country like under. So it's not a bad idea, yeah, but it's so overwhelming.
Yeah, you know, for me, one issue that I had with this whole thing in the first place was that, and it's something I had said over and over, that of course we know a lot of them, as I'm about to reel out the names, a lot of them are going for presidential. They have campaigns and all that they're soliciting, that they're going for back and forth. And a lot of these people hold very key positions. They're ministers of very key ministries and parastatals, yeah? And between now and May 29, 2023, it's still a whole year. A whole lot of work still needs to be done. It is a whole year, whether we like it or not. And at least, if by chance you win the primaries, that's you're going to need about 9 months of constant campaigning. So how do you want to pull that off if you are, say, the Minister of Transport or the Minister of Niger Delta or the Minister of Labor and Employment? There's also strike, by the way. The Minister of State for...
Has he paid for his own form?
No, I don't think so. But the Minister of State for Education has actually paid for his own form.
You want him to pay?
The minister, there is
the one that cannot settle has to strike. Don't give him Nigeria.
The Minister of State for Petroleum, Timi Prayer Silva, you can imagine. The Minister of Science, Technology and Innovation, all these people want to be president. They hold really key positions. So, pack your load and go. You cannot be Minister of Transport. Well, let's be honest with ourselves. There is a lot of infrastructure development that is going on with the transport sector. And how do you want to keep up with that and want to be president at the same time?
Those contracts have been given out. They wanted it executed to the full. Some people have collected 80% of whatever commission, either legit or illegit. And some of these people, like we mentioned, they're just disgraceful. That's the point. And again, we also know from history that the ones that serves the shortest of the time, when you measure it comparatively, they actually ended up more corrupt than the people who have actually spent more time. So, and as the elections are coming, they're mopping up money, resources, and everything. So definitely the coming 12 months that you mentioned, 11, 12 months, it's quite like an opportunity for some individuals to be able to take whatever they can grab. Believe me, if you or any one of us here decides to just be aloof and say, Mr. President, I'm interested, I only want to be minister for 6 months. By the time you come out, you're likely to going to be more richer than that one who has been serving all 3 years. So that's the way Nigeria has been constructed. So, and those people, they know how it works. They know most are going to be working with the civil servants who are going to be putting them through. Oh God, do this. Oh God, these are the basic measurements. These are the insights. These are the, you know. So it's all about personal interest, the lust to go after the resources of the state, which absolutely no one is most times held accountable. And they are held accountable. We have seen the president who is supposed to be championing anti-corruption now, pardoning people who have actually, stolen so much from this country. Within how many days have they served? In the penitentiary. So these are the point. But like I mentioned earlier, I think that the people still need to play a lot more role. And go write it down. The next election, you will see the poorest turnout ever in the history of this country. Because people are so disillusioned. They don't have a feel of what they're turning out for. So this next election,
next election I think so too. I think there's going to be a lot of
turnout.
All right, I would like to weigh in a bit here. For me, though, still taking from what everybody has said, I'm actually extremely happy that this decision was taken. Regardless, I feel it's late, and I feel that while we applaud the president, I think he's done this very slowly. I said this about 2 weeks ago. Look, sack these people. The truth is, if I build a team, and I've given you a role to play, and I see that you want to play another role in another team, I don't have a problem with that. But you must step aside to let other people come play in my team so that we can deliver on promises. So for me, how are you the Attorney General of Nigeria?
I think that's one of the most disgraceful.
You are supposed to know everything that has to do with the law, and you're doing everything within your power to subvert the law. There's something called morals that we must also look at. Apart from the law, we talk about law. There's moral, there's morality involved, and this is immoral. Like I said, the asking for 40 million for president in PDP, asking for 100 million in APC is immoral. When you take into context the way the country is going, let's put that aside. All these guys, I think they're just pretenders and they are jokers, and they know that the post that they claim to be striving for, they can't get it. They're playing a game, and some people don't see the game. The end game for them is to put, some of them, not all, is to position themselves. Some of them want to be seen like, oh, I have X number of delegates. So with my number of delegates, in fact, some of them are going to sell their delegates.
Trading.
They're going to trade human beings on the floor of the primaries. You will see it. They will come and say, look, I have 3 states. In my region, there are 800 and something votes. I have 400. How much are you giving me? What position are you giving me? Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. Then you will hear, this person has stepped down for that person. It's been going on even from the time of Abiola. It happened during the delegates conference. It happened that time. It's not a new thing. The delegate system has been like this, and it's not a Nigerian thing. It's a global thing. You get? A lot of horse trading is involved. So some of these guys know that they need that platform to make this trade. Some of them needed to position themselves. That, oh, maybe they will give me the vice presidency or give me a ministerial post amongst other things. Because you cannot explain to me how names that we've never heard before, who do not even have political structures or clout, want to be president. 7,000 plus delegates in the APC. I've been singing that song over and over again. The Northwest has the highest number of 1,900 plus. The Southwest has 1,500 plus. Those are the two highest. But in the Southwest, you already have about 7 or 8 people coming out. Do you get? And you're telling me that they're going to capture everything, and you're going to, at the end of the day, you have the majority of the delegates. It's not happening. They know it's not real. So they're just playing this stupid game. Yeah. So in the case of all these guys, if they're really serious about being president, the president would not tell them to resign. They would resign. And they will be focused and say, I know that I have what it takes to be president. I have resigned. Mr. President, thank you for the opportunity to serve. But no, all of them had to stay until the president said that he's giving them an ultimatum. So it shows you that they don't even know what they were doing in the first place. In the case of the CBN governor, I've been very vocal, and I'm going to say it over and over and over and over again. You are superintending over the economy of Nigeria. You're in charge of all these monetary policies that go one way or the other. And you want to be president. It is well within your rights. He's over 35 years old. He's a Nigerian. He's a card-carrying member of the APC. At least we know that much now. So he has all what it takes to be contesting. I'm not saying to be president, but to contest for president. But one thing that works against him is the position he holds is not meant to be partisan. He was not brought into this place by the APC. It was the PDP that put him there. It was Goodluck Jonathan that brought this guy. Everybody knows it as a fact. But because of his survival instincts and whatever, he has played himself into this game. Now you want to be president, and you're even going to court to force the INEC to allow. I've never heard that kind of stupidity and wickedness and greed before in my entire life.
Shola, this same man went to visit the Super Eagles.
I think, you know what? You
So
all
why
have
are you
said
surprised with that?
you all have said it all. Really, I don't want us to go back. I don't want to repeat everything you said. The annoying thing for me is a bit of what Yomi has said and what Shola has concluded on. The fact that we do not understand what it is to have good morals. We do not understand when to say goodbye and good morning. We do not know when to throw in the towel when the deal is done. Over the time, how many ministers have we had in the past that, for the sake of EFCC intervening in your department, even asking questions or querying you, would elicit that move from you to say,
So,
this is my letter of resignation.
a bit of an update based on what you just said, Tokunbo.
Okay.
The Minister of State for Education, Nwajiuba Emeka, has resigned.
Yes,
After he was told to resign.
Okay, so after he was told to resign
after
today.
he was told to resign, he has resigned.
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic.
All
Now,
of shame.
No, they all start resign.
That's
You know, he
the
has
number
even
one
submitted his
president
own
of
form.
shame.
He was
So,
the first
for
to
me,
buy that form.
Yeah.
he was the first to buy.
And
He has
the
submitted.
first to
I'm
supply, to
forced
submit.
So he will be the first candidate for the Hall of Shame.
Well, with the way you look at it, he's done something, but too late was the
no,
dawn.
he's not done anything.
No, hold it, just a
Until
minute.
He has done
He
something.
has
I
done
agree with
something.
Tokunbo.
He has done something. Okay, which was what you said now, and I agree.
You people are not raising the bar.
No,
Anyway,
no,
the bar
no.
is on the floor,
No,
so
hold it.
let's go to
Exactly. Do you understand? That's my point. Like, you people,
No,
you people think
What
that
has he
there is a
done?
bar.
no.
He's immoral.
He's not done nothing.
No,
in the
nothing.
dictionary.
Hold it,
Child
so
alive.
hold it. I have said
He's
what
a
I've
disgrace.
said, not because he's clean. What I said that he has at least done something by resigning. Others have not even resigned. Listen, and you don't need to be told. I agree with you. We are still on the same platform, okay? And I mean what I'm saying, because nobody has that culture of saying, I am fed up, I have resigned. We don't do
Okay,
it.
so
there.
another person
Now,
that
now,
doesn't look like
now,
he's resigning.
now,
Sorry,
so
before you
point.
finish, let's just put it
Yeah.
out there. The Minister of Youth and Sports Development has now come out to say that he's determined to complete his tenure as minister, and he is not contesting in the 2023 general elections.
See, shame. You're right. No,
Really?
I give up. I
Like,
give up
for real?
completely now because
It's not
it's now. You see, it's all commerce game, and they are taking us for a ride. It's all scam. You guys can't see it. It's all scam. The million you are asking them to pay is donation. It's all scam. It's not because I want to take the form, I'm giving the money. No. There's something attached to it you're not seeing.
Okay, so I have another angle too. I know that you're talking about morals and all that. Let's even remove morals, yeah? And let's talk politics. We know that for a fact in the Constitution, Section 84, subsection 12 or not.
I'm not a lawyer.
You still have to read some question later.
Yeah,
okay.
And the main issue about how whether some people can contest, or the main issue of that one is you cannot even be voted for in the primaries or whatever, which there's a new judgment on that now. If we even remove that and we go by that judgment, still, according to the Constitution, you should resign 30 days before the primaries that you want to contest in. Without that, which even the Speaker of the House of Representatives, I think about 2 weeks ago, had spoken about it, that if they do not resign, it calls to question the APC primary elections, which makes it null and void. Which means even if they win the election,
yes.
And we know that for you to win an election or for you to be president, you must have won the primaries of your party.
Okay.
So if somehow a court case comes up in future and nullifies the APC primaries, it means that they didn't even have it means that they don't even have a candidate.
Yeah.
So that has already jeopardized a lot of things. So if you look at it from the angle of politics and you're looking at it that you don't want to mess up your party, which I think it will go back to greed and not just morals. If it is not greed, if it is for the betterment of all, and like, okay, my party that is the ruling party should not lose out, then you should do things by the book.
They are not doing things by the book. They lack morals. It's part of it all. It's a combination of what you said and what Yomi has said. From the beginning.
We have no bar.
No,
It's
can I tell you why I'm worried? Can I tell you why I'm worried? Let me tell you why I'm worried. Our politicians forget something. The politics of 1960s, okay, metamorphosed and changed with time. Most of the people they are addressing as voters to be, right, came from that generation. Thank you. They came from that generation, including Moa, you understand. They came from that generation. Right, what hurts me is that they have refused to change strategies. You learn to change strategies. You can't continue to do the same thing the same way, with the same set of people and the same set of mind. So you are taking everybody for fools. It's not making any sense. People should learn to change. You have to re-strategize. They have refused to re-strategize. That's the reason why most of the people are now becoming so disenchanted. You are right, Yomi. The turnout is going to be very appalling and very low.
Oh yeah.
Go and write it down.
Yeah.
Because people are beginning to understand
like
now.
There's almost no point.
Do you know what they do in other crimes? Thank God, some few countries we came across what they've done recently online. Okay, they are asking their president. So we have this huge amount of money, and you are giving it to another country. What about your country? See what they are doing. They are killing us for food. They don't have food to eat. People are beginning to reason like that and asking questions. When I pay you 100 million naira because I want to be president. No, I mean, look, listen. Because I just
Sorry. We have said it in the bar.
Yeah.
I've been corrected a few times. It's the form. It's not just a form.
It's
the form.
Oh, it's not just a form.
It's Uncle T.
Okay.
It's 100 million naira form.
Oh, yeah.
It's the form. Let us put respect to that piece of paper.
Okay.
Thank you.
The form.
Yes.
Okay. You have picked up the form. 100 million naira form. Okay.
You got it.
Can we do a fundraiser for Shola?
For
I mean, it can become.
Shola won't take 100 million naira.
No, not the form. The form for him to, represent us.
Oh. Where is that coming from?
Well, I don't know. My people have been calling me and asking me to run.
Your people. Anyways, everybody has people.
You to run for what?
Your minister.
Councillor or what?
Our
Exercise.
group. Our group.
To be
We
fit.
take the form for him.
Your group,
Group
you
will
people,
take
you
the
people are
form.
no, you people are not nice.
Groups have been picking forms.
Groups have been picking forms from people like me.
The tragic story about Nigeria's democracy is that it is unaffordable. It's so incentivized that it's not for people who are poor.
It's not.
It is
Definitely.
extremely expensive, so much that they start thinking of how to recoup the money when they get there. So it's not about service delivery. So the tragedy around it is that after 2023, we're still going to be back to the same people, the same thing, like Tukumbo mentioned, doing things the same way and expecting different results. If I bought my form for 100 million and I become president, come on, I want to recoup that money. Those who gathered the money for me, that is even if it's not my own money, I want to recoup for them.
You should return that money to them now.
Exactly. So those are the things. What we are practicing is not realistic. And the thing is that we're doing it now, this generation is doing it, or the older generation, and this generation is following, and other younger ones. We're going to get to the point, that is if Nigeria is lucky to survive as one nation in the next 20, 30 years, they're going to have a lot to deal with to question this this lopsided style of election. It doesn't make any sense. That's the truth. And that's the reason you're seeing that everybody is so charged up. They're going to be recruiting the thugs. They'll have the weapons. They'll have everything to fight each other. They'll go dirty. Yeah, naturally. But if there are no incentives around it so much that people have access to the instrument of the states, most especially finance, to be able to take those huge monies from the treasury of the state, you'll see it's going to be about service. Then serious people will come in. People like Shola that would dress like a clerk into the studio would have the chance to be able to better their, their ideas and vision for a workable society that it represents. But as it is now, yeah, it's good. At some point, there will be a change instead of just static and then under one man who is saying this is the way to do it.
Yeah, there will.
So
there definitely would. So basically, still talking about forms, yeah.
Okay.
The PDP also has a bit of woes because right now we know that their own primary suit is for the 2023 general elections is coming very, very soon. And one person has now gone to court, the person of Ayola Falola, is challenging the People's Democratic Party for charging a sum of 40 million naira for its nomination form.
Just 40 million naira.
Yeah.
Ayola belongs to PDP.
Yeah.
It belongs to PDP.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
It's saying that the party lacks the power to issue guidelines requesting payment of nomination forms and expression of interest forms from the claimant or any member aspiring to contest for a public office.
You know, there's something we've been tracking on for a while, and that is the major problem Nigeria has is the people.
Okay. We are the people. Nigeria is the people.
I'm going there. People problems, okay? What's the machine problems? The system we have run over time has shown us that as a people, as a set, as an entity, right, together, we have left undone those things we ought to have done.
Yeah. We
have put money first, inducement first, before any other thing. I don't know where we lost that track. Because it starts from even the salaries of the people who guard and talk and collectively decide the laws and policies for this nation. Are we going to start talking about the kind of money, the type of salaries they collect?
No, we're not.
These things are heavy. They are heavy on my mind. And it's simply, look, there's no reason why everybody will rush to want to be a senator. Why?
There's so much money.
There's so much money in it. There's so much perks in it. Influence, my brother. There's so much perks, so much, and everything is about. I want to be a senator. No, don't go. Try governor first. Governor, there are many there. Okay, go for. Why are we? What? Sir?
He's retired.
To make,
Retirement.
there are so many people
Old
there
people's home.
who have not raised a bill, who have not even, who have not,
Is it compulsory?
yes.
It's
who have
not
not-
actually. It's
Excuse
not
me.
compulsory.
It's not
Shall I-
compulsory,
is it
but
compulsory
it's
to
not compulsory,
raise
but what are you doing there?
Shall I, is it
What are
compulsory?
you doing there?
What are you doing there?
What are, yes,
But
precisely.
that's when it becomes
What
a
exactly
compulsory.
are you doing
Oversight
there?
function.
Oversight function.
Committee membership. Should I continue?
Continue,
And
please.
who decides the salary?
Continue.
People.
They.
They decide the salary.
Now,
Don't be talking like this. It's not compulsory for
Why would I
any.
talk like that?
No,
Because
no,
I'm
no. You
telling
see, you
I'm telling
Nigerians are always asking for too much.
Oh, really?
Is it compulsory for politicians to pass any new bill? Well, they don't have to.
You are hearing from Senator Shola Rogers.
that form
They
you
don't
wanted
have
to
to.
collect for me from Ghana. I think
Oh, Charlie, you are going to have
I'm going to Ghana.
you
anyway,
get
don't worry. Ghana is not any better. Just put it out there. Talking about laws.
Come. We different too.
Yeah.
We come from the region
I
where
see. I see.
We have our intention.
All our
It
sisters and brothers
You
in
people,
Nigeria,
The
they know.
intention is very
you people
clear.
are very mean.
They know.
Anyway, talking about laws, the Court of Appeal sitting in Abuja today has set aside. Let me try and read this thing because I'm not sure if I understand their English. I think they're confusing themselves. Now, first, the Court of Appeal has set aside the judgment of the Federal High Court sitting in Abuja. The judgment of the Federal High Court was that it nullified the provision of Section 84, subsection 12 of the Electoral Act. So, meaning, please follow me, I'm trying to understand. So, the Court of Appeal, it means that they have set aside the judgment. It means that Section 84, subsection 12 of the Electoral Act is back into the Electoral Act, right?
Potential, yes.
That's what it says. Now, the appellate court now said that the plaintiff did not have the locus standi to have filed the suit in the first place, saying that the High Court could not have deliberated on that. Now, however, determining on the merit, the appellate court held that the provision is Section 84, subsection 12, is unconstitutional because it violates Section 42, subsection 1A of the Constitution and denied a class of Nigerian citizens the right to participate in an election. So, if I understand well, first, they set aside the court case saying that the Electoral Act is back, the section is back. Now, they're now saying, now deciding the case on itself, that Section 84, subsection 12 is also unconstitutional. So why didn't you just go straight to the point and just uphold the I don't get it. Isn't that confusing?
Duluko, one of the things we have done adequately well, in quotes, in Nigeria is to give a lot of meanings to simple things, straightforward, sensible things. And once you have a judiciary that is just as confused as that, they create this chaos. And don't be in any doubt that they also profit from this chaos as well. So, and because of that, setting aside one section and subsection, confusing the people with a straitjacket thing that everybody should be able to understand. Even the Queen of England, with all the English common laws and all, they're going to get confused. Like, come, what is this all about? We copied all these things from someone, from certain people, and they make theirs very clear and unambiguous. So, what is so difficult about all this? I think, I don't know whether to say that after 60 years, an individual should not be sensible, much more a country, you know. But the way we run all these things, because everything has been so profiteered and merchandised, it becomes a real problem for us. So the very moment we get to the point, which is also very difficult, unless we position together, look at what is happening in Sri Lanka. People like position together, they organized, mobilized, and follow up with the right things. If we come together and ask for real political reforms, that is not a question of somebody who is going out of government and is trying to do something just to please people to return himself and call it a constitutional review or whatever. then we're making sense. But who is going to let this happen? How is it going to happen?
So
When? Where? What? And it's going to be going on and on. The only realistic chance of this happening is because we also live, we have life, and we're hoping that the younger generation will not copy from this, adulterous generation.
It's too late.
So we
Is
have
it?
a comment on YouTube,
It's too late. Yeah.
and the comment goes this way: all contestants should go through a psychological evaluation. This is coming from Mr. Tolu Rogers, who happens to be a friend of the house. But he's saying that all contestants should go through a psychological evaluation.
Should I read it again? read
Oh.
All contestants should go through a psychological evaluation.
So what Tolu is basically saying that we should not have an election coming. We should not have an election. Because really, they're all going to
No,
fail.
you are.
See, Tolu is just being nice. He knows what he's saying.
Everybody falls foul of this. Everybody.
Everyone.
And it's very unique, because there's this
Tolu
cry
doesn't want an
of,
election to hold
this
this country.
cry of mental
That's his plan,
illness.
Abi.
This cry of mental illness. We are coming in today, and somebody just made some gesticulations on the road. Just on the road, on the way here. I really thought, and I also believed that there was something wrong with the woman. But no, later when we were driving past, we now looked back and said, oh no, she was saying hello to somebody, because they are even holding each other and hugging each other now. Do you understand? That is, we must construe, we perceive a lot of things, but it is not our fault. It is the Nigerian system.
Please, what's the Nigerian system?
Oh, it is the system.
Everything is
It's the people.
Everything-
The Nigerian system,
the people.
everything is content. Even when you go and do madness, it's content.
It's the people.
No, that's part
At the
of
end of the
content.
day,
Yes.
you know,
It's part of content,
it's
though.
very, very interesting. So,
Because I don't understand it anymore. He's right. He's very right about this. But it's a late starter. It's a late starter. We cannot. You need just.
It's not
that
going to
is,
happen.
For a whole 1 year, we are going to be in a, what do you call that? A quagmire of.
yeah,
nothing.
you know that talking
And
about
emptiness.
extension though, someone had talked about it yesterday that President Buhari should extend his term by 6 months that constitutionally is allowed to. He has now, President Buhari had come out to say that he's not interested.
Do you know the truth?
The old man just wants to go back to
there
Daura.
is a provision for him to invoke such powers
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
this same constitution.
Yeah.
this same 1999
Yeah.
constitution.
The man is
And
saying,
that is
"I'm not
why that
interested."
1999
Yeah.
constitution is ridiculous. Once you have spent 4 years, leave.
Leave.
Don't spend one more day. What are you invoking? You're not invoking the spirit of
You know,
the
and a lot of
ancestors
people have
this
been
country to
coming
make
out
Nigeria
that
work.
is very unfair. That's you're trying to worsen the Nigerian situation, which I think that it made sense that the president came out to say that almost immediately,
He had to.
because the minute you don't
Is that also
continue.
escapist?
He had.
Anyway,
he
no, he had
no,
to say,
he
because
had to
that
say-
alone could
he had to
actually
say,
cause something
but that
else.
constitution, have you read the first
No.
line of that constitution?
That-
It starts with a lie.
What is
With
the line?
something. We the people. No, we didn't sit. Were you part of it?
But you have
You know-
representatives.
Oh.
That's all.
But you know
That's
what?
where it ends.
That kind of constitution,
Elected or selected?
Elected.
Oh,
Elected.
that kind of constitution actually.
How they were elected
you
is
need
a
to
different
check.
conversation.
Okay.
Adolopo,
But were they elected?
They were,
That
not,
kind of-
they were,
that-
not,
that
they were
kind of-
actually not elected. They were selected.
They were selected.
By who?
They were selected by Abacha.
They were selected on
This,
They were
this,
select-
this constitution was given to us by the military.
They were
But
selected
the
by the military.
wait.
Abacha.
No, it was
Okay, so
Was under-
let's even say that they were
1999
given.
constitution
It
My
was Abacha.
conversation with
Abubakar had barely a year to be in government.
Yeah,
he
yeah, it
didn't-
was
he didn't-
Abacha.
He didn't do
Yeah,
anything.
yeah, he didn't-
so
Yeah,
my
they
co-
just
my
approved
my
it.
argument
Yeah,
my
it was
argument with it is that after
Because
Abacha
Abacha wanted
or,
to still be president so that he can always invoke. You
Or
know, you know
Abdulsalam.
where he learned all these things, eh? The fraud started from Ferdinand Marcos in Philippines. He was towards the end of his tenure and he had such a power and then he declared martial law and that was it.
my
so
my
he
issue
was actually...
you know
this
my
one
issue
got
with when we
fraud and-
have this
Don't let
these
this couple.
conversations is that
Shola already served
like
me.
as much as we say that is the military that wrote this thing, but we've had a democratic government that we voted for since 1999.
Who were military apologists.
They were, but
They were part and
did
parcel
they
of the military
agree
regime.
to that constitution or not. Yes, 1999 all through till 2022. We're about to get into 2023. About 24 years of democratic government, and we're going on with it. The minute we're going on with it, it means that we agree with it.
I'm enjoying this discussion.
It means we agree with it. That's my own angle to it.
It doesn't mean
Because-
that we agree with
Okay,
it.
shall I?
We should be able to speak our minds for posterity's sake, and especially on a platform like this, because posterity will judge us. The fact that
Which gods?
posterity will judge us. Our children will watch these videos and say, at least this is what my daddy said, this is what my Uncle Yomi said, this is what my Uncle Tokubo said,
And
and
Google,
this is what...
and Google never forgets.
Yeah, the internet never forgets. The internet never forgets. So to clarify, we do not agree with it, but we are law-abiding people. We do not agree with this 1999 constitution. Abiding. It is a quagmire. We are in a situation where the only way we can change it is if the people we claim we have elected
Exactly.
see what we want and do it. But you see, the truth is, this is the first time we're coming into a realization that these people represent us. We've always looked at them as the politicians. Leave them alone, let them do whatever they want. But you see, it starts not from Abuja, it starts from the local
The
council
councillor.
in your local government, because your councillors are actually legislators.
They are.
So that's where it starts from. It starts from the State House of Assembly. But what are we doing with them? Nothing.
Yeah.
So every time he's Buhari, every time he's president, where the real problem
Yeah.
is the legislature.
Yeah.
But you know why people focus more on Buhari is because of the food that comes directly from the presidency.
Yeah.
When people eat, they don't care about all these legislations you are talking about.
Right.
Exactly.
So it's
exactly.
the food. That's why they are blaming Buhari.
We do not agree
Because
with
food.
the constitution, but we do not have the powers, except people want to get ultra vires, except people want to start to take laws into their hands, and I will not support that. I will not campaign for that.
You know, yeah. You know, Shola, you said it all. You said it all. We're still guided by something. There's still a book of reference we want to. And that's what that constitution still does. And this is not the first time we have been clamoring for a visitation to that constitution. Let's touch it again. Let's do this. Let's do that. But it's getting to a point where, honestly, the noise has to be louder. Orderly noise has to be done, not a riotous noise. When the noise is orderly and it's loud, it will be
heard. It will be heard.
However, I wish to hang this also on the judiciary, on our judiciary. The people who have been brought together to establish a kind of interpretation
To
of
uphold.
what the things and to uphold the tenets of the constitution. How have they been doing it?
Oh, we've
That
seen
is
how
it.
confused they are.
Confusion is everywhere, and the way they even go about it sometimes is funny. You know, somebody said you don't need to ask the man to show you, the man who gave judgment, to show you his voter card or his affiliation party card.
You can just know from
You can
his
know from what
judgments.
he
Oh
writes.
yeah, you can know from his judgments.
To have an idea of
Our judicial
Well,
system is in
I can also
shambles.
tell you that they are also human beings. They are also part of the society, and that does not in any way cut them off from what is happening. You know, they too have their own biases. They have things that they see in different ways. So you cannot totally disconnect them. Yeah, I understand to an extent, but then what needed to be done also is the greater understanding of the general interest, which is much bigger than an individual. But at the end of the day, the judiciary in Nigeria, they're just like under the easy manipulation of the executive.
Of the executives.
So it's quite very difficult, and no man wants to get to a certain age in life and you start struggling to even eat. Believe me, most of these things, they are institutional, and we have already mentioned in 1999
All of
Constitution.
them, really.
Yeah, so
All of them.
even for us that we've worked for how many years now, where we don't even want to lose our jobs. So there's this greater understanding that they need to find means to create a balance. Some members of the judiciary, they do that. they create a balance.
Yeah, but
And
what's
some
the
basically just
percentage?
wash on their hands. One of the cases that I know most people in the judiciary prefer these days, except those ones who are monetized, are people who just want to like be divorced or somebody. They know that those ones they are not.
Yeah,
your
but
husband
once it
offended
starts
you.
becoming
Yes,
government issues,
government issue, they're running away from it.
yeah.
But they like divorce case because they know nobody's interfering except family members. They say, okay, go and say to each other, then come back.
As
To
much as I don't want to agree with you, but you make me laugh.
It is actually.
You make me laugh.
It is actually true. It is true. Let's move on quickly from me. There's conversation about how there's a report that the All Progressives Congress, the 100 million naira for people, have extended the sale of its nomination and expression of interest forms for the 2023 general elections to tomorrow, May 12th, and the submission is May 13th. So it means that if you submit your form by Friday and you're a minister or a political appointee, you should resign.
Resign.
That's
Yes.
what it means.
That's what
It means that you automatically
In fact,
resign.
right now, before you even think of paying,
No, you
paying
still have Monday.
Paying for the form,
You still have
you
money.
resign first.
Some people have already paid for the form. Should that form now go to waste? You're very wicked though.
Well, they resigned.
Some people have. One person has resigned. No.
I'm more interested in seeing Malami resign.
You know?
No, he's actually submitted his form. There's news that came out earlier
Has he
today that
resigned?
he has submitted his form.
Yeah.
So for him to have submitted his form, I'm sure that he's packing his bags already.
What
He has
about
till
what
Monday.
about the CBN go? I'm also interested in that one.
Can I tell you something? You are going to be shocked. You are going to have some shock coming.
That some people will not
Some
resign.
people will not. They will. In fact,
Is
they
it
will-
until some people are
they
just
will not
coconut
resign.
heads?
They
They're just
won't resign. And they want to stay extra 1 year. I mean, you don't understand. They
But it's so
have
good.
unfinished
Now
work.
the
They have
president
unfinished
had put
business.
out a directive that
Tokumbo.
you have till Monday
No.
to resign.
But-
No, they have made a
you
choice.
know the risk with that.
They've made a choice.
If
already.
they go on to get elected
Yeah.
in the primaries and then they get to win the ticket, the opposition party will just be locking out.
Exactly. Oh, that's it. It makes no sense.
Because they'll take them to court.
And
They didn't
it's
follow the
obvious
law.
you
We
didn't
don't
follow the
get
rule of
you.
law.
You don't understand. With this order, direct, right?
Mhm.
You will still find some people.
They're
right,
just deaf.
look, it's a people thing. I'm telling
Yeah,
you,
but
that's
you
why I'm
see,
saying that you're
the-
going to be shocked.
your
You're going
point-
to
Some
be
people are
shocked.
still going to do that.
Your point
For
is
real.
valid, but it
It
doesn't.
won't pass
it
Monday.
doesn't-
That's the thing.
It doesn't.
No,
It
it
doesn't.
won't pass Monday.
Yes, that's what we're
That's
saying.
what we're saying.
That's what everybody's
Listen,
saying. That
I agree.
the truth.
Some
the
people
truth
might get
about it
sacked
for
and
me,
they might not resign.
My
That's the
truth
thing.
about
Yeah.
this is that the
They won't.
the first guy to pay 100 million naira is the first guy to return his form. Is the first guy to resign.
And will be the first guy to be in the Hall of Shame.
Nah, I don't know about that. I don't know about the Hall of Shame, but this is what I know. I know that Emeka Nwajiuba
Looks like it's serious here.
seems to be very, very focused. This is what I'm talking about. I don't care about rumors or what